We are so fond of saying Saitama without hair that saying Saitama with hair almost looks like he's just wearing a wig. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel.
Remember, with great power comes great
Explanation for that power by Uncle Ben. We all know that Saitama claims he got his power by doing 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run every day for 3 years. Along with a simple diet of bananas, Sun Jin-woo can back that, and no air conditioning. But similar to Geno's reaction when he heard this, I just find that hard to believe nowadays. Then came the limiter theory, further explaining why Saitama is so strong by Dr. Genos. But does the limiter theory still stand as a good explanation for Saitama's power till this day? The recent episode of One Punch Man Season 3 just reminded us what the limiter theory is, and while it's just a theory by one of the smartest characters in the series, One Punch Man fans have always taken this as God's word and made it the canon way Saitama must have definitely gotten his powers. In summary, the limiter theory states that every being in the One Punch Man verse is born with a limit to how much they can grow in power for the sake of their own sanity. The limit is set by God, I'll get into that soon, and Saitama, by pushing himself to surpass his limitations, removed his limiter and paid the price by forever being bald. Now the first part of this theory is okay, I don't have a problem with that, but where I call bullshit is where Saitama is said to have removed his limiter by working out and running. Dr. Genos also says that Saitama had no potential pre-training, which I think also makes no sense, because clearly a guy that went from struggling against a half-naked crab monster to punching asteroid and instantly learning time travel on his first try surely must have had some potential before he actually got strong. The biggest issue here is Saitama's training, because when you really think about it, Saitama's training isn't that difficult for anyone to pull off. In standard US military training, soldiers have to do exactly or way more of what Saitama's training was just for a shorter period of time for 10 to 15 weeks or so. They easily do 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, 100 squats on a daily, including the 10-kilometer run. We know the military exists in One Punch Man, so why haven't we gotten any potential powerhouse from there? Surely in the One Punch Man verse, someone must have gone through similar training or even more rigorous training to obtain Saitama's level of power, because if not, you would have to be telling me that Saitama is the only single person among around 2 to 5 billion people in the One Punch Man verse to have done this level of training for 3 years. It's very doubtful no one else has done enough training for a long period of time to remove their limiter as well, unless the exact training routine Saitama did exactly is what made him so strong, like a ritual or a cheat code to get infinite power. Many people in the One Punch Man verse like Garo, Darkshine, Captain Mizuki, and the Glasses Guy should all be as strong as Saitama, because they've all spent years training their bodies in different ways that might be more tough than what Saitama did. Just take David Goggins and put him in the One Punch Man universe, and now you have two Saitamas, because David Goggins surely in the One Punch Man verse should have removed his limiter. The Glasses Guy is a very interesting case to look at when talking about how Saitama removed his limiter, because we know the Glasses Guy is training in a similar way to what Saitama did right now. When the Glasses Guy fought Garo in season 2, he was still very early into his training, whereas when Saitama was very early into his training, he was already being punched through walls and walking it right off like he shouldn't be dead. So it's fair to say the Glasses Guy is not on his way to remove his own limiter. Garo, Bang and Bomb are another good example of why the limiter theory has to be false. Martial arts, especially in the One Punch Man verse, is not something you learn in a single day. It takes many years of training, refining one's body and honing one's skills to get strong enough. Especially Garo, who went through so many near-death experiences, got stronger so many times, but still didn't remove or break his limiter. The likes of Flashy Flash and Sonic were literally raised from childhood to train their bodies to run faster than a speeding bullet. They must have surely gone through a more rigorous training routine than what Saitama did, but yet they didn't break their limiter. Captain Mizuki, Darkshine is literally the same as Saitama. He was born weak but trained for years to become strong, but yet he didn't break his limiter as well. I mean, he's strong but not Saitama strong. The god that set this limiter on every living being possibly can't be the One Punch Man god, because this god presumably can have a limiter on himself to be able to put a limit on others, which means, according to Dr. Genos' theory, this same god has to be mad. He has to be insane, because Genos said a limiter is put in place so one's sanity can remain the same, so they don't go insane. Yet Saitama Saitama removed his limiter and hasn't gone insane, so the limiter theory literally contradicts itself. I personally think Saitama was born with infinite potential and is simply like an anomaly in the One Punch Man universe. The training Saitama didn't make him strong, it simply unlocked his infinite potential. That's just my take because the limiter theory doesn't add up. That's all from me, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.